Hi, I'm Bridget, astrologer and coach from lifefromthegroundup.com.au, and welcome to my week ahead report for the week of the 2nd through to the 8th of January 2023. All right. Now, generally, when we start a new year, we have our New Year's resolutions and we start the year off running and we're ticking boxes. And yeah, this isn't going to be like that this year. All right. So give yourself a chance to just ease into this year. By mid-February, early March, then we can start running. But until then, we have a period of review. So let's get into it. All right. So now Monday, we wake up and the moon is in Taurus. So we are looking at our comfort and our security, our finances, our senses, our food, So now we are feeling the need to change, but the trick with how we're thinking now is we are going back over things that we've already done. All right. We are looking for ways to improve when we do get to move forward. So, we've got the sun in Capricorn. It's looking for strategy. We've got Mercury in Capricorn also, but retrograde. All right. So what have you done in the past and how has that worked for you? Did you love it? No. Well, then let's look for a new way of doing things. But the point is we need to understand how we feel about things so that we can change them. All right. So having some quiet time to do this review. And like I said, the moon's in Taurus. Did you love it? Did it feel good? If not, then it's time to change things. All right. So planning for change comes from knowing how you feel. All right. So that's my day. All right. Now Tuesday at 1:45, we have the moon moving into Gemini. So the afternoon is going to have a little bit of a different feel than the morning. So in the morning, we have the sun square Pluto. So here we are with some truths coming up. With the moon still in Taurus in the morning, we get to accept the sometimes uncomfortable truth about a situation. And this carries over from yesterday where we're having a look at old lessons, and we have to be very honest about where we're at and how we got here. All right. So today's a great day for you to just accept, forgive, forget, and move on, even if it's just in your thoughts and attitudes towards something, because it's your life and you're the one that is in control. You have the steering wheel. You have your foot on the accelerator. Yeah, it might be in reverse at the moment, but Mars is also still retrograde in Gemini. So, we're actually, where Mars is now at 8 degrees, we could be coming back up with conversations that started all the way back in the early September days. So just, sit with how things are going and don't get frustrated if you're not forging forward. You're supposed to be reinforcing yourself with giving yourself credit where credit is due, remembering all the things you have achieved and how far you have come. All right, Wednesday. So now Wednesday, like I said, we had the moon move into Gemini yesterday at 1:45. Now today we have at 6:45, the moon is exactly conjunct that Mars in Gemini. So the morning is full of like really, really, really fast thoughts, and they could make you feel a little bit unsettled, or they could be challenging you mentally. But it's all a matter of perspective. What about if you were looking at a movie in reverse? This would be a way for you to figure out how you got to where you ended up. But you know what I mean? Backwards. So this is exactly what we're doing. We've got like, and then happened, and then that happened, and then that happened. So, this is the type of week we're going to have. All right. So, now we also have the sun in conjunct, the moon, our feelings in conjunct the sun. So there is adjustment required. The tension that you feel is the indicator of what needs to be changed. So at the same time, we have the sun sextile Chiron, the moon sextile Chiron. So, yes, there is uncomfortable feelings. Yes, there is a lot going on in your head, but just grasp what you can, because everything that's coming up now is important. All right. These are the things that you need to work on. All right. Now we also have Mercury trine Uranus. So here we go. We have the thinking planet going backwards and the higher octave Uranus, which is just firing new ideas at you. So again, it's just like, just bring yourself back, calm yourself down. It could be a day of high anxiety, but when you're aware of it and you can see your patterns starting to play out or feel your body, maybe it's a day where you really need to be like acknowledge how you feel and just acknowledge your body's patterns as well. So you can breathe more, maybe activate that parasympathetic nervous system, or it's Mars. Maybe you could go for a run if you're a runner, or I don't know, do some sort of exercise to move the energy so it's not just stuck in your head. Okay, so now we're up to Thursday. Okay, so Thursday we have the moon trine Saturn and square Neptune straight away. So this is with the moon in Gemini. So we are thinking, how do we make these dreams a reality? All right. So dreams being Neptune, reality being Saturn. All right. So now the sun is conjunct Mercury. Both of those guys are in Capricorn. We're looking at structures and rules and regulations and foundations. So to make dreams a reality, we need careful planning. We need realistic expectations. We need education and we need assistance. So while we're looking back at all the things we have achieved so far, what are the things that you think might help you moving forward? Like, do you need to get a mentor? Do you need to, review a course you already have? Or do you need to maybe jot down on a separate piece of paper things that you could possibly do in the future once all these retrogrades are finished? Okay, now we also have Venus trine Mars. So Venus is in Aquarius now, and she is trining Mars in Gemini. So she's looking at things going, how can I do them different? How can, Venus in Aquarius is a bit weird, but she's also very much a humanitarian. So Mars in Gemini is still stuck in his head at that 8 degrees, which is there until the 25th of January. So how can we do it differently, but still love it? How can we do things differently and it come from our hearts? All right. So Mercury is also in conjunct Hygeia. Hygeia also being our mental health and that holistic well-being placement. So, adjustments are needed all week. The going back over things is exactly how we pinpoint what it is that needs to be adjusted. All right. Now Friday. Okay, so Friday at 1:15 in the morning, we are waking up with a Cancer moon. All right, so things are shifting and changing, and your thoughts have moved into a more nurturing headspace. So the moon is in conjunct Venus. So, if you have loved a certain way for so long, but that in conjunct to Venus now in Aquarius, she's saying, what are the adjustments needed to do it differently? Or being a little bit more emotionally detached and that humanitarian for the good of the people. Maybe your old pattern of love or love language doesn't suit you now. So where are the adjustments that you can do to make sure that everybody is happy and looked after? So I wrote down here that, maybe the mama bear vibes, how sometimes you can get into that, I'm going to love you my way. It's just maybe not working. Like, is that a pattern from someone else that you picked up? Anyway, so, you might just try to have fun in a different way. Don't hold on so tight to these outdated ideals that you have had of what love looks like. It's different now. Everybody is different now. So just, sit in some comfort, nurture yourself, and just allow things to just be. All right. So now we're going into Saturday. All right. So Saturday, today is interesting. All right. So we still have the Cancer moon, but we have it opposition to the sun in Capricorn, and also opposition to Mercury retrograde. So the thing we're going to experience today, it's like your whole story is in your hands. All right. So you're looking back at the previous chapters. You can see the backstory. You can see the lead up. You can see the actors, the roles that they've played, how many different places what places, groups that they're in. There is lots of lessons to be learned, and this type of insight can help you make better decisions for your upcoming chapters. You are the author of your own life, and all the work that we've been doing lately has been showing you where your blocks are, where the storylines have come from. Saturn in Aquarius and his lessons are like, what parts of the past do you want to pave your new future road with? So there's a lot going on today. And in addition to that, we have Mercury's inferior conjunction to the sun. So this is from 8:45 through to about 8:54 through to about 2:54. So we've got a 6-hour window, and this is just Mercury, like the sun's wisdom is just shining straight through Mercury. So if you can be open for exceptional wisdom and insights into these situations, like I said, the book is open in your hand. You can have a good look at what has happened thus far and how do you want the story to play out in the coming years. All right, now Saturday. So Saturday, we still have the Cancer moon in the morning, and we have the moon going into Leo at 1:41. So the afternoon is looking a little bit better. But in the morning, we have the moon in opposition to Pluto and opposition to Venus, but also trine Jupiter. So, we go in there, and in the pursuit of a more authentically loving life, we need to look at how we are going to go from the old way to the new way. Now, it takes small steps to make change comfortable, and when you are resistant to change, that's when things grate, just like an earthquake. If there's small adjustments, it makes sure that big movement isn't necessary, because, there's just gradual change. Now, at first it can be awkward, but it's very well worth it in the long run. So like I said, the afternoon brings a lot more laughter and joy with the moon moving to Leo. And so, this is definitely a week full of change and adjustment and retrospective and the need for you to give yourself credit. All right, we've started a new year, and you've just got to ease into this one. So I hope that you had good New Year's and Christmas so far, and I am open for readings. So if you would like to have a look at your natal chart and your year ahead, then please feel free to reach out to me at lifetimetolevelup.com.au, or come and join me on mornings from 8:30, Monday to Friday, and Saturday at 9 for daily astro guidance at Facebook. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.